The Expendables 2, directed by Simon West, takes everything that worked in the first film and cranks it up to 11. With an even bigger ensemble cast that includes Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and Chuck Norris, the sequel delivers more explosive action, larger-than-life characters, and plenty of one-liners. But is it a step forward for the franchise, or does it fall into the trap of relying too heavily on nostalgia? If there's one thing that The Expendables 2 excels at, it's action. The film doesn't shy away from its 80s roots, delivering the kind of practical, explosive action that defined the genre. There are fireballs, huge shootouts, and high-speed chases. The choreography is tight, and the film's pacing is relentless. When it's not blowing things up, it's blowing things up bigger and faster. The stunts are exhilarating, and you get the sense that everyone is fully committed to the mayhem. From the opening sequence to the final showdown, the film constantly escalates in terms of scale and intensity. It's clear the filmmakers know their audience, and they deliver an action-packed spectacle that recalls the golden age of action films. The villain this time around is Jean-Claude Van Damme as Villain, a former Soviet officer turned mercenary who has a vendetta against the Expendables. Van Damme's performance is one of the highlights of the film. He plays villain with a cold, calculating demeanor that contrasts well with the tough guy antics of Stallone and company. Villain is a solid antagonist, and Van Damme brings his own brand of menacing charisma to the role, even if his character's motivations are fairly simple. He's after a dangerous weapon and is willing to kill anyone who stands in his way. While Villain is a step up from the forgettable Eric Roberts in the first film, the plot itself doesn't stray too far from the mercenary mission formula. The Expendables are hired for a job, things go awry, and they must stop the bad guy before he causes havoc. It's not particularly original, but the focus here is clearly on the action, not intricate plotting. The performances in The Expendables 2 are as expected, largely about delivering one-liners and flexing muscle. Stallone returns as Barney Ross, still tough as nails, but a bit more self-aware this time around. Jason Statham's Lee Christmas gets more screen time and provides a lot of the film's emotional beats amidst the chaos. The real charm, however, comes from the newcomers to the film. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Bruce Willis return in larger roles, with Willis's Mr. Church and Schwarzenegger's Trench getting in on the action. The interaction between the stars is one of the movie's most entertaining elements, with some memorable one-liners and moments that feel like a love letter to fans. Van Damme's performance as villain stands out, as he not only brings a solid villain, but also provides a much-needed antagonist who is as tough as the heroes. Chuck Norris's cameo is pure fan service, with the film playfully and humorously acknowledging his iconic status. The entire cast embraces the larger-than-life nature of their characters, and while none of the performances are deeply nuanced, they all deliver what's expected: tough, charismatic, and ready for action. Despite its many strengths, The Expendables 2 does have its flaws. The plot is essentially a retread of the first film. Mercenaries get a mission, things go south, and they fight back. While this formula works for fans of the genre, it doesn't offer much in terms of fresh ideas or character development. Some characters still feel a bit underdeveloped. Jet Li, for example, is criminally sidelined in this sequel, given little to do despite being one of the film's most skilled actors. There's also a slight repetitiveness to the action sequences, as they rely on the same formula of big explosions and gunfights, with little deviation. The pacing can feel uneven at times, with some action sequences dragging a bit in the middle of the film. For the audience, The Expendables 2 comes across as exactly what it was designed to be: a bigger, more intense version of its predecessor, with more explosions, more stars, and more fun. The film knows it's not a high-concept masterpiece. It's here to deliver pure action entertainment, and for the most part, it succeeds. The camaraderie between the stars, the nostalgic one-liners, and the non-stop action will appeal to fans of 80s and 90s action films, but it might not offer much for those looking for a more nuanced experience. It's a fun, loud, and entertaining ride, for anyone who just wants to see iconic action stars do what they do best. My final overall rating for Expendables 2, 7 out of 10,